In tech, some rivalries they define an era. And today we're going to unpack one of the absolute best, most aggressive ones out there, the speed battle between Oracle and Informix. It's a classic story, really, about how being the fastest, well, it doesn't always mean you're going to win the race.
Okay, so picture this. It's the 1990s, and in the database world, speed is everything. I mean, it is the only thing that matters. It's the ultimate benchmark. And right in the middle of this arena, you've got this undisputed giant, Oracle, who suddenly has to look over its shoulder because there's a new challenger that is just plain faster. And that challenger? That was Informix.
All right, so to really get what's going on here, you've got to understand the champ in the ring first. Let's talk about Oracle.
By the mid-90s, Oracle was, well, they weren't just a company. They were the company, the default. If you were a big-time enterprise, odds are you ran on Oracle. They were an absolute titan. But you know how it is. Every titan has an Achilles heel, a weak spot. And for Oracle, that weakness was, you guessed it, raw speed. When you put them head-to-head in performance tests, they're actually starting to lose.
And that little crack, that vulnerability, it created the perfect opening for a challenger. And boy, did one show up. Enter the speed demon, Informix.
And look, the battle lines here were crystal clear. When it came to pure, raw performance, Informix was the winner, period, hands down. They were fantastic at the really tough stuff, the demanding workloads. Complex queries, online transaction processing. We're talking things like credit card swipes, airline bookings, that kind of thing. And this built them an incredible reputation. The developers, the folks actually in the trenches building stuff, they started looking at Informix and thinking, yeah, that's the smarter, faster choice. So even though Oracle owned the market, Informix was absolutely winning the tech war.
So what do you do with that kind of technical edge? Well, Informix didn't just sit back and compete quietly. Oh no, they went on the attack. They turned a simple business rivalry into a loud, public, all-out war of words.
And this is the thing you got to get. This whole fight, it stopped being just about market share. It got personal. The CEO of Informix, a guy named Phil White, was completely, totally obsessed with beating Oracle. He saw their weak spot, and he was going to exploit it with every single thing he had.
And how do you do that? Well, they went public with their attack in what has to be one of the gutsiest, most legendary marketing stunts in tech history. Seriously, Informix rented a massive billboard right outside Oracle's main campus. It had a picture of a big old dinosaur and just two words, Dinosaur Crossing. I mean, come on, the message was absolutely savage. It was unmistakable. You guys are slow, you're old, and we're coming to make you extinct. And the crazy part? It was working. This relentless focus on speed, the super bold marketing, winning all the benchmarks, it was all starting to pay off. Informix was building some serious momentum. And for a little while there, the whole industry was just watching, holding its breath, thinking, wait a minute, is David actually about to take down Goliath?
So this all leads to the one big central question of this whole story, right? You've got Informix with the better tech, all the momentum, and all the love from developers. They had everything, literally everything, going for them. So how on earth could they possibly lose?
Well, the answer wasn't in the code. It wasn't in the benchmarks. The problem was inside their own building. The company was careening towards a fatal scandal, one that would cause a complete and total implosion.
And when it happened fast, like shockingly fast. It all kicked off with a huge accounting scandal. Boom. Credibility just shattered. From there, it was a domino effect. A leadership crisis, a bunch of really bad financial moves, and just like that, all that momentum they had built, gone, wiped out. Customers lost faith, and once that happens, it's pretty much game over. By 2001, the story was done. IBM came in, bought the assets, and folded Informix's awesome technology into its own DB2 database.
So, after all that, what happened? When the dust finally settled, who was left standing? In a perfect, almost cinematic twist of irony, it was the dinosaur. This whole saga leaves us with some really powerful lessons. First and foremost, having the best or fastest technology, it's just no guarantee you're going to win. Oracle's stability, their persistence, that turned out to be way more important to big companies than just raw speed. And it really hammers home the biggest lesson of all. Customer confidence is your single most valuable asset. It's everything. The second Informix lost the market's trust, all that amazing technology became basically worthless. And yeah, the Speed Demon's engine is still out there. It's just humming along quietly inside IBM's DB2.
So yeah, After all the billboards, all the benchmark wars, and all the trash talk, the lesson from this incredible bit of database history is pretty clear, isn't it? Informix had the speed, no doubt, but Oracle had the staying power. And in the end, the dinosaurs survived.